Good afternoon and welcome to another episode, another edition of the MPP Hour. Una the gateway na SLBC radio and television. For the radio na FM 100, I call them the Power FM. And of course SLBC television in New England. Today we get important people as usual, people already in both the public and the private sector. For we understand things the way government they do, will they affect the well-being and the livelihood of our people, the public. So today we look at public security and safety, and that we get a letter them. We come on the Office of National Security, and of course the Sierra Leone Road Safety Commission. They're all two there, as well as we get Master Sabi people them now in the area of political and social commentary, and of course from we also get an official, a senior official of the Ministry of Political and Public Affairs. So shortly I will say make we welcome the panel. We go help we throw light in the area of public security and public safety. But I just want to follow we remember say nobody not forget down the way they lost their lives now road during accidents, anyone that we left behind where they mourn them. Don't remember them. And of course, in the area of border them, from the international airport, Lunge, the water key, the different land crossings them between Liberia and Sierra Leone, everything that happened there, we hear there and people them, and they all about for make sure say the country is safe and our people remain in peace and security. Because where there is no peace, there is no development. Part of democracy, not peace, and part of peace, not development. And I make a ask now for on behalf of my minister, Madam Nane Thomas, and me with the present this program. My name TJ called the Megadon. Let we welcome we guess them we get this afternoon. Very close to me, we get Mr. Francis Lagumba in a Kelly. Kelly, in the director and spokesman for Office of National Security. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And the next one we get Mr. Usman Sanko in the director, national coordinator of Public Mobilization. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mr.
And the gentleman will come with SLRC in Ibrahim Samba in the director of licenses department.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And of course, finally, not the least, of course, now Eddie Mara. Eddie, you're welcome. Political and social commentary. Would they begin right away without any? Remember, saying that you in FM 100, all about the country. Please stay tuned. This is a very important issue to talk today. No will pay attention. Forget any questions them for ask. You want make contribution. Anything we want to understand, because this is a public education and sensitization, and that's why you can text us now 030014971 if not Airtel. After you get, but if not Airtel, please 076-955-191. Be part of this program. Mr. Samba, we want to know a little bit about the reason for setting up the SLRC. Because we already get the road, the police traffic division from who we own in this country. Me, for instance, I've not been no SLRC until very recently. So just get us through this as soon as as fast as you can, and you tell us why you think it's necessary for get this kind of body when the police traffic division already there.
Yeah, as moderator, I tell you, thank you for give the authority the opportunity for make we educate the general public and we existence.
Right.
In the first instance, the Sierra Leone Road Safety Authority, initially the Road Transport Authority, government be established around 1996 through an act of parliament with the key responsibility for ensuring we regulate the transport industry, vis-a-vis we ensure we register vehicles them and issue driving license to potential drivers them. Before now we get the Sierra Leone Road Transport Authority, where because of the trends in the world, there was a need very recently around 2015. We've been getting a Road Transport Authority.
Yes.
But after 2015, we've been getting a UN decade of action, waiting for shift to responsibility a bit from just concentrating on the licensing of vehicle and the issuance of driver's license. We will focus towards the general management of safety of pedestrians and individuals on the road. That being like we get what we call a UN decade of action we as the lead agency, the UM, give the responsibility through the government of Sierra Leone for making sure say pedestrians and the citizens of this country are safe on the road.
Okay.
And that will actually lead to the changing of name from the Road Transport Authority to now Road Safety Authority. The primary functions are say government set up for ensure to regulate, give out rules and regulation for manage the transport industry in totality.
Okay.
By issuance of driver's license to drivers, they ensure say vehicle are not plying on the road where they're not actually licensed.
But they also give license to vehicles as well.
Of course,
for roadworthiness. But everybody seen at the screen now very terrible accident with the CISO. How you see when functions them since they set una up? How una able do self-assessment and they see how far una don't go? Now things una don't succeed in una special areas them mandate.
The challenges are many, but we don't do a lot and we don't succeed a lot. If you look at the way the authority be initially set up and we mandate and focus, it don't change a little bit. We don't put more effort now in terms of creating the maximum public awareness on the road for now people and will use the road and ensure to minimize fatal accidents. Unfortunately, to get various reasons, they were actually responsible for road accidents.
Okay.
It's not just the authority responsible for the insurance.
Oh, with the candy. Mr. Usman Sanko, you are the national coordinator for public mobilization, and you know the issues surrounding road safety and security. I just want to let you, we may get your take on this.
Well, once more, thank you, Mr. Moderator. Then, we're glad for get the opportunity at this forum for discuss issues that we really affect the public.
Yes.
And this is one issue lately we don't cause very, very serious concern. We forget this as a topic.
Yes.
You know, I'm glad you forget Mr. Sangba Naya from the Road Safety Authority. You know, basically the definition of road safety now for put measures and methods how you go prevent people from being killed or being seriously injured. That's not the job done there with SLBC. Basically, supposed to forget based on the characterization where this man only reporting job.
Yeah.
But lately, that's not the happen. And so during the course of the program, we will try to see the factors then. We're really responsible for the accidents there are and how the public will try for help for mitigate some of them problems there.
All right, well, thank you very much. Now we go to Eddie. You don't hear Mr. Samba and you don't hear Mr. Usman Sanko. You as somebody who get eagle eyes, you know, the interest, the welfare, the well-being of the nation and the people really very high up in your own mind. Waiting na you take on, you know, setting up SLBC and waiting with the sea, really, are you able through your mind? I mean, and give us your thoughts on that.
Well, thank you very much, Cole. I think, say, you know, first of all, within our country, where sometimes we're very good at creating institutions. Salon are one of the things, and they will get them thinking, and they can create fine institution there for let them work on behalf of the people. You know, but sometimes when it comes to the issue of implementation, how the institution them for work, and the biggest challenge.
Right.
The establishment of SLBC is a very brilliant idea. Maybe followed throughout the discussion, even in Parliament. Some of us will support the idea because we believe, say, now one of the institutions that we think, say, it can bring reforms within the road sector and the road management also. But like me, big brother talk from the political Ministry of Political Affairs, you know, point of view. You know, when you look at some of them institutions there, particularly so SLBC, since they create a lot of things they go on where it don't become alarming to the public.
Right.
So that they should say people and they raise the question whether the institution SSF the work.
Okay,
because even when they discuss with today, me they talk today with a heavy heart. Because I know say 2-3 days ago, a very prominent industrial Sierra Leoneans we don't contribute so much where they offer medical assistance to the people of Konadugu district.
Yeah, but some people call them a national hero.
Yes.
When the pictures with the system on the screen.
And when you look at the way die,
yeah. Well, yes. Well, with the candy. So let's go back to Mr. Sangba because Mr. Sangba, now you day on the hot seat. And I thank God you look very calm, you look cool, you look collected. I like the way you do your colors. You should say you really concerned, you know, the mourn with those who are mourning, you know, you give sympathy to those who require it. And that is the whole purpose about being keep your neighbor's keeper. So now, but sir, because so in addition to waiting, then gentlemen I don't talk, the public they raise concern. What thing appear to be the problem with them? They witness rapid, you know, incidents of terrible, mostly time fatal people they die there.
As I say in introduction sentence,
yes, sir.
He gave, but in the first instance, I just told me brother from Usai Stop.
Yes, sir.
We send condolence to the bereaved family. You know, more so when for educated doctor from school to educate become a medical doctor. The financial implication they're huge.
The time,
you know, the time, the financial cost, the family. So they extend we condolence on behalf of the authority to the bereaved family. May God make the soul go. May God make it depart in peace. But let's just look at some of the reason. If you watch for that particular accident, now something we call like recklessness on the part of drivers. This vehicle here, it collided into another vehicle, it been packed with a lot of stationery, a lot of wood and all the rest of it, right? And it not getting out to the signal to the upcoming traffic. For
that's caution. That's sign right to the light
stationary. You know, this doctor here and driver with the cam on the highway with his speed, they end up for bumping into it. Unfortunately, end up for losing life. But that's just an instance of the behavior we come on Sierra Leone. This vehicle don't park on the road, it don't become stationary. You know, see vehicle in a serving a highway, you be able for suppose for at least alarm the upcoming traffic that this vehicle don't become stationary. So from afar, then we will get that notification. But that not actually be happen will lead to that fatal accident. So as I said, the lawlessness and the recklessness on the part of the drivers at times, he end up for lead to that some of the accidents and possibly care. And we cannot even know the speed way the gentleman in the car would have lost his life. Because normally also, if inside the car with a heavy speed, it is possible by the time they notice the stationary vehicle, it's already late, they crash into it.
But let's go back to another accident what happened not long ago. And that's in Lumley. We approach Lumley roundabout, which is next to the adjacent to the police station, and a Spur Road. This vehicle, it actually jumped, it broke traffic, it go down the other lane. And so, not a matter of overspeeding. And apart those who are eyewitnesses say, he jumped, he left the motorcar, and that motorcar they go cause a lot of mayhem. The question of what thing they happen to people like that when out of recklessness, you know, and just total lack of discipline, go kill a guy. What thing SLRC did do in this situation like that? And is there any compensation or insurance or whatever to the family of the bereaved, or even though they suffer fatal injuries when a life threatening, anything would happen?
Unfortunately, for now, we're not getting a scheme towards that one. But as I say initially, for buttress, my initial point, if you drive, you don't anticipate this accident, they end up for abandon the vehicle. You know, they drive a lot, look at us now, why would profession on its own? People that they train, they need to get a livelihood, who they consider as professional in their own field. And therefore, when they become negligent in the execution of their professional duty, the law they take in court.
So that's criminal.
As this gentleman they talk to, I made for understand it didn't court. Right? The police they investigate them, then see get case for answer, they don't charge an court for making answer for a crime. Right? Though there are certain times where in the vehicle, you can get new vehicle, you get other issues, then you must get technical problem. That's already rule them out. Okay. But in an instance of that, you must be able to show a level of at least effort and professionalism for the trust institution. But for that jump, he left him motor car, and that was kind of for keep people there. So
yeah, Eddie, you just say it to what Mr. Samba say. He's bringing a lot of issues: the motor car, the speed, you know, the professionalism of the operator, so many different things. So what do you take?
TJ, I think whilst I would say I agree with Mr. But partly. You know, we therefore understand the fact that most of them vehicles then are then registered and then they get a license. Right. Even the drivers is a way to talk about. Right. And then they get driver's license. And then they get license to the vehicles. And then they insure the vehicles. I believe say years gone by, a very structured system and been there. Where you want to go say for go driver's license.
That's right.
You go almost a week. You go through all the exam process, then you go do test, then they do you everything.
You all.
Yes, all learned then
whether you see fine.
The road signs, all learned then the teach you.
Whether it's a be
but now if you challenge you say, TJ, you can then host, you get driver's license.
Wait.
without you not going in a SLBC, it happened.
No, that's serious.
It happened. And when you look at the roadworthiness of some of them vehicles, go out now after this program, just stand by and see some of the vehicles already passed, where they don't get already insurance and the roadworthiness license. You ask yourself the question: now this SRSA they give license to for run? Look at even the public transport system in this country. Always, you can see some pura they develop, especially so then the one where they can't do that. Then get one come and say where they can say avoid corners, avoid corners, avoid corners. It tell you say they are almost on the moving coffee because
moving coffee.
Yes.
They say avoid corners.
Any mistake, the people in the go. We don't see anything that happen almost always. Even we don't stay around Sakila Road for almost 12 to 18 years now. Always motor break the filler from Mode Junction. By the time they reach Christchurch,
yes,
they don't clear Boku people there. I don't see that several times, even from school days, even up to this moment it happen. Sometimes when they get an accident, then they run away. Even sometimes forget the owners of the vehicle, it's difficult. So the question go back to my brother, when are they responsible? How them vehicle are in the kind of streets? We then can condition there. After we don't give them certificate of worthiness.
Yes,
that's my point.
Well, thank you very much. Before we turn this talk over to Mr. Samba again, Director of Public Mobilization, you they look at the interest and security and safety of the people. Yes. What do you think? Because we can now look at the ONS, Office of National Security, because who is the national security? I think that everything when they happen within this country, it should be all of us now, everybody's business. So maybe I want to let you rub more then.
Thank you,
we add that to Mr. Samba, then we'll come to ONS.
Thank you.
Yes.
One word we are just right here, we my colleague talk about educate. So that is why this forum, let we tell we Minister Madam Nane Thomas Tank, where even get the idea for establish this type of forum.
That's right.
I think SLRSA for some time, I don't know if they still get the program. SLRSA hour. All right, that's good. But we know a lot of things where they go wrong.
Right.
We they see a lot of things where they go wrong. Sometimes you wonder if these vehicles they go through SLRSA.
Right.
Especially they look, you go not say this is a danger waiting to happen. It will happen. If it happen, it will happen anytime. So just like where my brother and I talk say, now massive education. And some of the drivers then, because some things then is other half things in the way they create. Like I feel say SLRSA therefore do more in terms of sustainability, because then they get very good laws there. Just like
and the laws
are there, but
implementing the laws
for implement now one, then you wonder whether they implement and they don't take. One day they may not get a program where they talk say anybody will go register and therefore buy that in now triangle.
That's the caution, that's right.
Now nobody will see again. Now they don't go back to that traditional way. Motorcar, put grass, put tire,
put stone there. Nobody is here.
That's the nonsense. That's safety. That is another danger. So if you come and everything, although when the drivers themselves, they need to be cautioned.
Okay.
That speed, right? Because the 109 they get really responsible.
Okay.
But still, SLRSA as an institution,
Mr. Samba, he will have to come in and talk about why would he see all it there, and then we have to bring Mr. Kelly inside this talk. But now we are from the possible way to say who the cap fit, and right now you the cap fit, Mr. Samba.
Yeah.
You don't agree the political social commentator. You don't agree the director of mobilization.
Yeah.
Is SLRSA are they doing enough?
Of course, we are doing enough.
What are they do for preventing things?
We do enough, but we still get challenges. To be frank enough, right? See, we're not been there for you get them right. It takes a lot of time, a little bit.
Okay.
Like I'll show you.
A lot of sacrifice.
Yeah. I can show you, for instance, the reflector you direct to measure. If you go right now, the authority left me see there. You go right now, go to cage 1. They meet triangular reflector for availability to the public for let them buy them. As I say, it has to do with their aptitude. The product is there and we enforce them. But I can tell you, say some man still can get an motor car. They deliberately refuse not for even user.
My God.
If you go to the authority now, this is there. We don't provide that because we focus on shift a little bit towards safety. It's not just about licensing. The UN Decade of Action now we are the lead agency and we are pursuing it. And part of that key area now safety on the road. And this would already develop a strategy where His Excellency the President on sign up when a working document would be used. Very recently, we think of having an extensive MOT because with current environment and not big much, right? And when you compare the fleet of vehicle, would they consider for bringing private sector partnership?
So this MOT test.
There is MOT
test. Road fitness, roadworthiness.
Correct. So that will be more or less intensify the current strength we get.
Now so you didn't have a pipeline now. Those plans.
We already get an existing one.
Okay.
But because of the revolvement of situations, the issues the way they come on board, we don't see there is a need for make we get this MOT and privatize and get private sectors coming in. But as I say, all is tied down again to resources. Okay. But within the limited capacity we get, we they do them.
All right, well, fine. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Samba. Now, the director of the Department of Licenses, now SLRSA. If you watch SLBC television, now the director invoice so and income from SLRSA, and of course now radio. Of course, we listen to FM 100. This are the MPP hour, and we talk about public safety and of course and security. And that's make I now bring in Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kelly, how we go SLRSA and help people them? Make the area of securing or enforcing the existing laws them where government don't get since 1961 or 1991. I don't know why with the punitive measures there, but me feel say something they a little bit what they make drivers are not afraid. What do you think? Say what thing like your own thoughts on what you do here so far? Because you come on an office of national security. I secure we all right now as they are so I don't forget nothing, Nothing I think me at cool.
Well, thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Yes, sir.
I think one problem we will get that all public institutions, the implementation and enforcement of government policies and programs,
all right,
they not begin today. You understand? We can find laws then where they serve as deterrents. You understand? But Sierra Leoneans definitely, because at the time when it comes to implementing some of them stringent laws, we get the tendency here for compromise and for let leniency come in.
Okay, when you say compromise,
well, I mean compromise at the end of the day. Perhaps you not go and enforce them to the fullest. Perhaps either you go and get some other consideration, whether not fumble, whether not through some kind of corrupt practice,
same religion,
whether not collusion, what kind of whatever thing you get for say. But you as a public institution, when they don't confer a specific responsibility on you a legal mandate, I should say for enforcement to the letter.
Right.
Like this triangular stuff where they talk about, every vehicle way for go license, like prerequisite, you supposed for use.
For sure.
You understand? So once you don't put a vehicle, a stationary vehicle on the road, it's incumbent upon you to use it. You understand? But you go see say, so then sometimes some law enforcement official go carry pass and see that vehicle. And even the question of parking stationary vehicles on the road, nothing when the law they against.
The law they against.
They against. There was a time when they clamped down on stationary vehicles.
But they left.
But when that it just died.
They left.
You know, so the continuation of their programs they are sustainability of their programs.
Continue on and on
and
on.
Very important.
Thank you very much.
That
no, Mr. Kelly, I like the way you come in and right now because we still can't look at ONS, but I love that because this is not the area of national security. Because we don't damage all the workforce, them, particularly on the way at Fort Gain, as the gentleman himself rightly said. Because look at that lady that died, that lonely, Sonia. Look at somebody like this, Dr. Kane. In fact, my driver, they tell me the in as Ebola survivor. He say in go now like mortuary. He say if you see Ebola survivors, they go back there. He said they felt like that na the papa na in die. He said he was the first to begin to shake somebody in hand before people like Ban Ki-moon they get that God's day. He put his life on the line, but when the time comes for securing life, nobody know he will do it. And it takes so long. So that man is a national hero, and that is why Mr. Sambadi, you don't hear what Mr. Kelly say. You get any response to that?
Well, it never just to up a little bit. Boil down again to attitude.
Okay.
Right. The enforcement are one big challenge, and the attitude. Let's just give one instance. Last Sunday, myself, unfortunately, we ended up with a colleague. We also died in a road accident.
Road accident.
But upon investigation, the cause have been lack of seat belts. Right. This accident happened. Actually put on seat belts. You know the effects of that one when you not get a seat belt.
So now the tire line boss or what's it? Because the issue of smooth tire back,
it gets mechanical problem.
Yeah,
people end up for the problem, but it not be done on seat belts. The few people on seat belts then be okay. In fact, the ones saying now body commodity don't go back in country. But again, it's about public education. Normally on this forum we get every Tuesday we get SLR hour on this program where we continuously and constantly continue to educate the public on the need for maintain safety when they're in a public vehicle or when they're in a personal vehicle on the road. If you go outside and go see somebody within a vehicle, they take phone, lack concentration.
That's right.
Again, when something happen, you go begin count to the blame to the authority. As I say, now encircle something. Now it will get a general flavor where it's not just limited to a specific cause. It gets all lots of cause the way he actually responsible for that. We on our own part we realize the situation and we do level best. We get to mend them on the road and we continually educate them for making enforce the existing laws and regulations.
Yeah. Edward, you know you're really somebody. So is it just all about education? What do you think?
Well, I mean things
before we come to awareness and get a little on education on awareness. What do you think?
I think we go beyond the issue of education. I've been telling you earlier on, sister and be in that department, the way you go even go for license, you go through a normal class where they teach you. You understand? When you don't get an education, then they're expecting us when you come as a professional driver, you get to follow the law.
The practicer.
You understand?
Yes.
Very unfortunate that I will not get the police now, but I can tell you when it comes about the issue of the enforcement of the law, now they will get problem in this country. We get brilliant ideas, brilliant institutions, they all the work, but we come to the issue of law enforcement, now they will get it wrong. So even if there are people, the mindset of Sierra Leoneans, even if you go beyond, you educate them, educate, at the same time, if the mental mindset, if the mindset and the attitude not change, the only option is to apply the law. Now the law, if they don't develop a law, for God's sake, we expect them now for make sure they implement the law. Okay. That the law take its course. Okay. If somebody they drive with smooth tires, the law there for that. If somebody they drive without a driving license, law there for that. If somebody they drive without a seatbelt, law there. You park now road. Even right now, most of the vehicles now, especially them trucks that they travel up country, then they contribute for fuel with road network. Because sometimes we say in the park. They do maintenance, they do service, they go to the grass.
So the oil, the diesel.
When they're ready for go, they just
left everything go.
And then they give too much destruction to the road.
So they're not
afraid. So the question is, even if you tell them that, they not say it's illegal for behave so, but unless or until somebody get for tell them say you get for comfort yourself with this, no go do it.
Okay. Well, family, this is the MPPA hour. And of course, the canton on SLBC radio and television every Wednesday. Today, now the 14th of June. So next week, Wednesday, you can be sure. God spare we life. We'll bring another edition. But today, we'll look at issue of public security and safety. And now, with the canton, we attention to Mr. Francis Languba Kelly, the director and spokesman for Office of National Security. Mr. Kelly, you are a social political commentator. We talk about the issue of enforcement of the law. Say almost all the existing laws that should be written in our books are there. Because even me as actor and film producer, one law where I know say not the function now the law of anti-piracy. When you pull the film you film all man the watcher, you get cover. And there's nothing you can do. They are taking through the ONS. What's not the ONS and why they set up the ONS? We already get the army, get the police, we still get ONS. Why do you think that happening? What's not this ONS, sir? If you don't mind.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Briefly, ONS are what I call a post-conflict institution.
Okay.
The institution we kind to be in after the war. Now, one of the good governance institutions and that way government be set up immediately after the war. You know, with history. If you look at before the war, even during the war, these primary security forces they all began. They be self-accounting. Self-accounting in the sense they are not really representative of the reflections of the views of the people.
Right.
You know, even in terms of carrying out their activities, you know, there was no coordination between them. You know, everybody they do everything we're supposed to do in their own silos. So in fact, even the executive not be sufficiently informed for take credible decision.
Okay.
Like which side the army go tell and say the rebel they Machaka, so then the police go tell and say the rebel and they Hastings. You know, the other bogus informants and political party officials go tell and say the rebel and they might 91. So when it comes to decision taking, he was not informed.
They dirty the water.
Then they dirty the water.
Yeah.
So now we partner development partners and finance after the war. One, the security sector needed to be accounting.
Right.
The security sector needed to be well coordinated. the security sector is supposed to work within the democratic framework and the constitutional order so that these questions of coups, counter coups, allegations, subversions, so that you go get a coordinating body. We go really they look at the resource requirements of the security sector.
Right.
We go look at policy formulation and policy implementation of the sector. We also go serve as an interface between the security sector and the public for build up confidence. We will also serve as an arbiter in terms of dispute between the security sector and the public.
Right.
We will also serve as a government agency for provide national emergencies, because no we ever get any agency where they do national emergencies, a disaster.
So that was a great area.
A disaster, that was a great area. You know, so they set up the ONS to provide all of them forums there. I happen for go Nigeria one time for go do a presentation at Nigeria Defense War College. Well, I don't done. The generals they come meet me. They say, "What are you saying?"
On Abuja.
Yeah, in Abuja. Where I don't make the presentation. They are so surprised. One general come meet me. Why don't display with your architecture?
Yeah.
The coordination within our architecture. He said, "You mean I can sit down with a policeman and a prison officer to take a decision?" They said, "That's not possible." I said, "Well, you see coordination. That's what you call coordination."
That's it.
So that even in terms of intelligence, you make sure say. Everything we get is well coordinated. So then where anybody they bring up bunch of intelligence on anybody. Now get what you call the Joint Intelligence Committee.
Right.
All the heads of the intelligence agencies in this country, chaired by my boss, when I the National Security Advisor, when I the chair, then they sit on there. When the intelligence we
can gets together.
They all the hand gets together, then they analyze that, you get teams of analysts them, when they assess them. So that everything when they reach to the executive is credible and is plausible and is impeccable. So that makes this ONS very, very relevant.
All right, sir. But anyway, I love just the choice of what the incredible, impeccable. Eddie, ONS. This is a new body will come in as a result of the Usavi don't come out and the dictates of good governance, and you know all about that.
Well, to be very honest, you see, ONS, the establishment of ONS, now one of the good things that we happen to this country after the war. And I think, say, now one of the institutions we for continue for be proud of, not only then continue for maintain the independence. You see, it's been very important, like Mr. Kelly said, after the war, we'll be the comeback, we know what will be happening before the war, coordination will be there, things will be going like that. Today, we get a structured system. You know, so far, we don't get a lot of experience with them since they established in 2000.
Right.
You know, we don't work together. The last disaster we happened during the flooding, September 16. I deal with them for almost 2 months. We all work together. But one thing I want for continue for appeal to ONS now this. You see, when we create national institutions, then for continue for get a national face, a national character in terms of the responsibility.
Right.
You see, ONS not for one sector of society. Now for the whole country, then create the ONS. I get a very bitter experience with the ONS, where for the interest of the public, no. You see, like Mr. Kelly said, the issue of disaster in this country.
Yes.
Now the primary responsibility of ONS, then get for always get a prepared mind for disaster. If you follow the news from yesterday, currently Bangladesh, Sierra Leone, and Guinea-Bissau, we are the most prone disaster countries.
Right.
For the past 2 days, a lot of people are not dying in Bangladesh as a result of
weather forecast.
Yes.
Right.
So that's one aspect. We likely get our own share of it. That's we don't meet the possibilities there because of what we activities now. We have not been friendly to the environment.
Okay.
But let me say this. You see, something happened sometime about 2 years ago. You know, there's a village in Konadugu district they call Banankoro.
Right.
Banankoro been get a fire disaster. 91 houses then burned to ground level. The people they get for abandon the town. Now bush them mistake. Some of us go there on the ground together with some NGOs. We do a thorough assessment. We reported the matter to ONS. Mrs. go na ONS headquarters. I go meet Mr. Retired Captain Mara. He sent me to Mr. Rogers, the director of disaster. We give them all we findings. We report with evidences. They say they will get on to them people for relief supply. Believe me, as I should now so. ONS not even go to that village they for go sympathize with the people.
Right.
That's one example. Again, very serious. TJ, I don't rush because we for tell the people let them understand.
Right.
Another example, there's a village called Konumbaya, breeze blow, they carry the school go.
Konumbaya na Tonkololi district.
No, Konumbaya again.
It's an Konadugu back.
Nobody ever from ONS, then go there for sympathize with them people and they. You understand? The reason why they bring up some of the
instances,
issues, me run there with ONS, when a disaster take place in Apujom, I come to ONS, we go do over 200 million worth of supply.
Yeah. Relief.
When it happens, the flooding between Bo and Kenima, I know the response we ONS make. Where a flooding take place in Akono, I know the response of ONS because now everybody. Okay. What happened at Makenita, I know the response of ONS. What we do there. What happened at Frita, me say volunteer for 2 months. I work alongside with ONS with Mr. Rogers then. We want to work together for give support to people then. But when an institution is being run like that, you know the perception where they create, it will begin undermine public respect for that institution.
Okay. All right. Well,
so what I say in summary, let Mr. Kelly with the director of ONS with the entire management team, let them begin let them build up that public confidence. Let the people then begin saying, yes, this is our institution. Because one, the danger is, if something that happen in other part to some citizens in other part of the country, nobody in the country aid. We up other side, people are quick for it. But you know the implication, people are going to say maybe because there is a strong political will from that end day. We
look at the issue of discrimination when it comes to discharge of our duties. But before we come to Mr. Kelly, because we really want to look at another aspect where you don't talk so, disaster management. We also look at the issue of securing the borders. Because as we talk, we get it on record, well not on record, but eyewitness reports say there are people that they near Guinea, and Liberia, more like Guinea, then they get a little bit afraid because they think that they see, aliens them with beards, then they fear Islamic fundamentalism, this they make people like become terrorists and all that. One Mr. Kelly Rob Monte, but before that, Mr. Sanko, you get anything to add concerning the issue of national security relating to the ONS?
Well, relating to the ONS, just like where the man he articulates well, which he's supposed to do.
Right.
I'm glad he instead been talking we get very, very good ideas, the implementation. You understand now with problem. Enforcement and implementation. Here, like the threats, we don't scatter all over the world now. I just feel say, maybe, I don't know, they will educate me now.
Yes.
If they get mechanism where they go really, they share intelligence, both nationally and internationally. So that
from the airport now,
people are being,
land borders,
people then will be ready in advance whenever threats are pending. You understand?
Right.
So I think say that be small solution.
Well, we be talk to Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kelly, very issues of discrimination in the way when they respond down to people in the beginning level is against you. I mean, definitely not to. I might not talk out of isolation because a whole big district contains a lot of our people when a bona fide alumni and then how secure and safe we borders them both locally and internationally. How then they concerning these ISIS and Boko Haram, all kinds of them fearful Al-Shabaab, they get all kind of name. So they are making we at school back. They got me at school, so why didn't hear you?
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator.
Okay.
Now a two-pronged question.
Yes,
I just want one we state of preparedness in the event of terrorist threats.
Yeah.
The second I go
responding
to Mr. Mara briefly.
Yeah, please do.
Mr. Mara then say monkey one shot, one box by hand shot.
Okay.
If you really understand, most countries now, West Africa, where they set up disaster management agency, autonomous agency.
Okay.
Until like Ghana, Nigeria get what they call NADBO, National Disaster Management Office.
Okay.
Nigeria get FEMA, of course. You have been
Yes,
Nigeria,
of course.
you know.
I know about
They get budgetary allocation from government. It's a whole agency where they get a lot of international support.
Right.
We never had such a structure before. After the war, when they set up ONS by the actual establisher, when they look say no agency, no, now they say, okay, ONS, una the caretaker disaster management force. You understand? We are like caretakers of disaster management.
Okay.
You understand? We are not an agency responsible for disaster solely.
Only and solely.
Only and solely. Now just about less than 2% of work what they do. And we only work what they do in disaster now for coordinate. So when disaster occur, now we they coordinate the other agencies them. You understand? They bring in their resources, they pull and provide response.
Yes.
There is no standing fund for disasters as we they speak. Wetin we don dey try for do? 3 years back, government be try for launch a national disaster fund.
Right.
I can recall, President may launch that in Amiata Conference Center. It's surprising you say even some donors, good corporate entities, they come, they make pledges. Up to now, they not pledge nothing to that. And when disaster you call like that fit stadium flood, we know say government spend over 4 billion use. You understand? All the disasters when they happen, I don't like stereotype any particular region. Of course, awareness from the start, today, now not as the header. So now even begin go say because I put job, because that is not the instance. It can happen say at that time where that thing they happen. So then the resource is not available, and they take time for response where there are donors that you go to and galvanize them. You understand? So we said we know the clamor say, now we set up a national disaster management commission authority in this country. We will get parliamentary, we will get budgetary allocation.
Yes. Last
year we tried with the Ministry of Finance. We now allocate some budget to disaster. We will be a standing fund. But you know the economic austerity will they go through.
All right.
In principle, that has been the case.
Okay.
But instead, don't they see what they do? So now that really happen. Right. None of us say we want discard any
area.
Well,
fine. We'll go visit that.
Because we are limited.
We go visit again. This issue of really like getting a body that are wholly and solely charged with the responsibility of making they on standby in case anything the unthinkable happen. So now, but they see our beautiful seaport and that. We don't see pictures of Balamoya, nice in a common border with Guinea, nice place where you go the way enter you just go bus over and I've not even seen even between Badagry and Benin. I not see that kind of Abuasiana is so nice. But then we get other areas there, the airport. Waiting, we don't get right for we feel afraid with all them bombing there. Look, this thing will happen in London. People and they drink their beer, they enjoy their company, get find their friend, take game play that next day. Man, they go. Come on, I'm going to get two people. Yeah, afraid. I say maybe in the world done also.
Yeah,
so we don't get any reason for fear.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. As far as 2011 to 2012, you can recall say Al Shabaab is not threatening we.
Right.
Say because we contribute troops na army some na Somalia, we will taste the bitterness of terrorism. And for what you know, all countries that where Al Shabaab we don't contribute to Al Shabaab, we don't threaten. They carry out all the threats and from 2011 to 12 to 30 as we speak, will not be done sit down.
Okay.
I know we tell you all things are public.
No.
Definitely for
security. No, definitely.
One thing I can tell you that as I speak to you now, we don't try forget. A then a law officers department, they go parliament just now.
Right.
And anti-terrorism legislation. We are the one of the few countries inside West Africa where they try for develop. We don't get a bill, we cabinet don't approve. Attorney General's office, they work on the legislation now. That legislation, they deal with a lot of legal issues.
Right.
Right now, if anything happen, one time they when they catch somebody, they loiter na Lunge airport inside plane. They go inside plane, don't enter everything. Guess where they come for charger, waiting they charger. They say loitering in an airplane. Yeah. Because even get the law waiting for charge the man under. So there are a lot of lapses. There are lots of lapses in the law. So we they try to get a very comprehensive legislation.
Okay.
Just last year, government provide 2.5 billion to the security sector. One, we don't get an anti-terrorism fusion center. We don't get an anti-terrorism response unit. We're well armed. We don't provide all the capacity for.
Yeah.
In terms of intelligence, we they share intelligence as far away as Argentina and Latin America.
Okay, so
mind you, we get the Central Intelligence and Security Unit, CISU, when are like the CIA, whether established by law,
so they
well capacitated.
All right, fine.
I don't want to go into the mechanism. But as far as we are saying, terrorism they take various forms and manifestations.
Right.
First, they find out say you see terrorists, you stereotype them, but this stereotype is not good because today you will see man, not just see man because he dress, he wear turban, if he be Muslim, or you get long beard. You stereotype and say that terrorists. The terrorism get various manifestations.
Yeah, but what you would the fear? What you would the fear? Now the issue of what they call radicalization and homegrown. The one you don't go away when they don't sleep. Now they do you bad because like if you see now England, the last one now Manchester and the one now London, now people in England. Now they go take them to carry. Now they radicalize. Some people are when they see them, they in the sea, they get them there, they are go to mosque, go preach. They would afraid say they will bother them and we imam them, may not take them kind of ideology. Take out their own brother and sister. That's what we're talking about.
We get a whole counter-radicalization strategy.
Okay.
Just as I speak to
you.
As I speak to you.
Yes, sir.
Just less than 2 years ago, we organized a national conference for imams and Islamic clerics. They come all over the country from the 149 chiefdoms.
Right.
you can recall, Namiata Conference Center. You understand? Now, even the vice president will go open up.
Right.
We spent 3 days with them on counter-radicalization. And after that, they even produce sermons them where they preach that they must on specific dates where they talk about counter-radicalization. They also take we through so many topics like the role of Islam and national security, the misconception about Islam and terrorism. So as we speak to you, we get a lot of ongoing programs. We don't say vehicles for radicalization are on employment, on education. Okay. We get a lot of things that we can take care, we can take note of.
Tramadol.
So all of these factors are being considered. But to be very honest with you, as far as religion is concerned, we fully engage with Muslim clerics. And if you come to any one of them, they fully carry out their sermons and then at the mosque, and at will get for continue.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. We'll continue for watch the program. This is the MPP hour, and the country Unuso, now SLBC television in New England. And of course, radio FM 100, wherever they monitor the program in the country. Now, that now, just saying, Mr. Kelly, they assure we say, when it comes to issues of terrorism, whether now Al-Shabaab, whether now ISIS, whether now Boko Haram, Salon is safe and secure, people are fully aware of radicalization. So when we go to Eddie Mara, Eddie, I want to make you respond to just what you do again, and then we go back to Road Safety Authority, because I get a couple of texts in here, and I want to look at the area of this operation clear the street. It was so much trumpeted. I mean, even see the Matuka, the way the old one Matuka is some of the fling as though load and can go warming on the club. Genuine, we're not united again, Eddie.
Yes, whilst I appreciate Mr. Kelly in comments, there's no way we will try for bring sectionalism in the discussion or will give a broader perspective of what's in the happen.
Right.
My own point is, Lord create a platform wherein citizens are not going to begin feel suspicious, say, there are not the thing but we. He explained some of the challenges with ONS. Mr. said, aware of those challenges because I don't work with them, you know. What to me they say, sometimes when disaster happen in an area, for the fact that for now they're in charge of disaster, let them make sure see them go there. Their presence alone for sympathize with the people, it'll go a long way.
But they're not going to go with empty. They're not going to go with empty hand. Because they don't care.
This thing is not one. It don't happen 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. 3 times in 3 different
maybe
locations.
Not coincidence.
No, sir.
Will they make assessments in each of those locations?
Three
will they make assessments?
3 incidents, different locations where Mr. Self aware.
Okay.
What are they say? You know, and institutions, state institutions in general, public confidence is very important.
Right.
Let not create a situation where in certain section of society they will begin look at and say, that way will look doubt. You understand? Very good point because they don't talk about it. Even the issue of terrorism back we talk about, we know them where that threat become the mechanism where they begin put in place.
Right.
But in Challenger also currently there are systems where they even between like you go to U-Building now. You understand? The scanning machine the way they install to the other side of some of the public areas and some of these things are not working.
Okay, well, now listen to
public. So now about sustainability, not of a food system, and for that the thing become sustainable.
Right. See, but this is the good thing about this program because these are issues of national concern. So, Mr. Sanko, before we bring in the SLRC, what's your take on all this?
Well, my own take on this, normally just like because ONS, based on the way they create which they're supposed to do, they're supposed, you know, they're supposed for really still in the midst of adversity, anything, the well-being of the public, then paramount. So that no, even in America, believe you me, security, things them, police and everything, they cry about budgeting. But they still have to find a way for get the job done, just like we. If any ministry they suffer for budget business, that will be ministry.
Okay.
But so in Canada,
we'll look at we.
So
now we go on.
Now we go on. Right. So we need for try for find ways and means where there has to be broader collaboration. Okay. Where you go bring all if they need for country, we make with the propagate and educate the people for them. Okay. We go do one.
All right. So, well, thank you very much. We still move on. We get messages in here. Say SLRC, where are all the road signs from Freetown to the provinces? Say there are so many trucks on the roads and that are not roadworthy. And another one say SLRC, where is the operation clean the stationary vehicles from our streets in the city. So then I bring we to the next issue to look at what happened to that system. And again, I want to make comment on the role of traffic wardens and see if there can we draw a distinction between them and police traffic officers. Please, I beg, while you are telling us about this operation clean the street or whatever.
Yes, the operation clean up now, one of the successful operations that we don't launch. We normally get them by phases, right? We target a particular area, we comb that area there, then we continuously monitor and we move to another area. The previous one will be successful because we end up for comb particular areas and we get stationary vehicles them and we end up for succeed for remove them stationary vehicles them. And that is why if you see currently in the newspapers, we get a publication going on where you would inform vehicle owners them for go retrieve them vehicle them, we end up for take on the road and park them somewhere else, right? We don't get a particular duration. At the end of the operation, we end up for reassess the operation and we not see a successful operation. And the city, as I say, is very large and congested. We target a particular area, we clear them, they will move on to the other area. We get to start to go park all the vehicles they were impound.
But it's been a while we not see the lack of activity we not see. Because even if they say kele 9 kill monkey, but they see when they go small.
No, we don't know for a while I haven't center at one point of the west, now we target the east. As I see the city quite big and get various areas we will cover. If you watch now, you take various publications, they go see what they call for vehicle owners them, for either them go redeem them vehicle them or we end up for auction them to the public. If we not been there actually get effective something will not forever reach that particular point. As I say, that's a very huge challenge. You know, one culture people can get the moment you clean the particular area, right? You go to the other next area before you take your time. You see people come again, then
again. The thing about enforcing the law.
Correct. Now make the authorities because of the need of that one, would then end up for acquire towing vehicles. We get currently about 7 towing vehicles. Then we not less a person that the honorary vice president go commission them.
Okay.
Right? As he's going to treat them, they see them around. Would they actually do?
We'll not get enough time again. But please, before we go, I want you to really talk about the issue of road wardens. I mean, traffic wardens. What's not in job? And I feel no more with see them because after I'm at 38, you don't see them anywhere. I just come home again yesterday because me I monitor all of this and I see a lot of checkpoints. I see much kind of we get 1 year in a net. I see Mutka Park Road and road safety wardens today. And what's going on? What did they do? And why not only here
we
with
get road safety them not only fit on the limited tool. We get road safety cops them all over the country, right? We may get some kind of limited manpower issues because initially we strength being big small, but gradually you get other people lady left, you get other people lady down, all the rest of issues.
But just 1 minute. What in they do with different from the police they do?
Well, they get complementary efforts. We complement each another. The police they complement to say they complement them. We basically on the road for so many other issues. Them. The only key distinction we identify possibly on the power of arrest, we will not get them instantaneously. But normally we get an issue of maintaining sanity on the road. And make go traffic cause and let them maintain sanity on the road based on the strength and capacity.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I'm afraid this program. I don't say the issues they're so very relevant and people gladly for you then talk clear up so that we they bring safety and security. But time don't catch up with us again. And this now the MPP hour when the Ministry of Political and Public Affairs they bring them to they look at the issues of public safety and security on our roads across the international borders them and whether by road or by air or the other land crossing points that we're gonna solve. When we they bring this program an MTJ call the Megadon on behalf of the minister and deputy and the management and staff of Ministry of Political and Public Affairs. I want to thank all the panelists them, Mr. Kelly will come on ONS, and of course Mr. Samba will come on SLRSA, and of course to Edinburgh. Thank you very much for providing that nice complimentary commentary, and of course Mr. Sanko. And on behalf of my co-producer Mr. Bankole Vincent, I want to thank you and say next week, same place, same time, we'll be there. So continue to watch programs na SLBC, both radio and television, and have a fantastic time. And wait the fast, remember say, now for also Gideon they will not to get, until you know more than eat the time. Call we know the fast, wait. Thank you very much and have a fine day.
Hello everyone, my name is Eben and you're watching SLBC. Don't touch that. Peace.
This is Emanuela with SLBC.
For news, views and comments, always tune to SLBC.